Coomer here. We're talking a little bit about thesis statements. So we've done multiple thesis statements already this year. How can we do a good thesis statement for an analysis? It's really the same basic thing. There's really no difference in a thesis statement for the first two essays you've done versus the one. They're always about the same thing. And just always remember this. We always need to declare what the topic is, what exactly we're commenting on. Because remember, we are making some kind of a statement about something. So that needs to be clear in the thesis statement. The next thing we need to do is make that opinion known. Okay, so we have some kind of opinion. Okay, spell check doesn't work very well on dry erase boards, but trust me, opinion. So we have a topic and we have an opinion about that topic. So in this essay, there are a few things that I want to make sure that are very clear. The first thing is your only goal here is to analyze another person's writing. Your goal is to analyze another person's argument, okay? So another person's argument, that person's argument is the topic. That's what we're commenting on. And then your opinion on how well that person made the argument, that's the second part. So let's suppose we're saying, Don Brown wrote this essay. Don Brown's essay, let's say, healthy eating. Okay, so far, I just want to take a quick break there. Don Brown's essay, Healthy Eating, that is my topic. That's what I'm going to give you my opinion on, okay? Now, the opinion is, again, we're talking about the essay. We're not talking about the subject. So I'm not going to say that people should listen to him and eat healthier or whatever he's arguing about. That's not my concern in this essay. My concern is, how well did he reach his audience? So, Don Brown's essay, Healthy Eating, and we'll just do a really simple one here. We could say, Don Brown's essay, Healthy Eating, makes a convincing argument. Okay, I'm just going to leave it there. At this point, we actually have a thesis statement. It's not a complex thesis statement, but it's a basic one. How do I know that? Because we have a topic, Don Brown's essay, Healthy Eating. We know that is the topic. And then we have an opinion on it, makes a convincing argument. Okay? Now, perhaps we would like to get a little bit more complex, maybe a little bit more thorough on this thesis statement. So let's suppose we read the thing, we believe overall it's a convincing argument. Maybe there's a few things that the author could have done better to make it more convincing. So what could have the audience done to make it more convincing? Maybe the author could have had more research. So we could say Don Brown's essay, Healthy Eating, makes a convincing argument, but could have been more convincing. If she, would have provided more evidence. Okay, I got a little sloppy down at the bottom, you'll have to forgive me. We've got this basic thing. Now, the nice thing is, we're not saying it's all sunshine. We are saying, hey, for the most part, it was a convincing argument. But there were some things that could have been improved upon. The thing is, in this essay, we have to back this up. Okay, so whatever you say in your thesis statement, I want you to understand you must back it up in the essay itself. So in this essay, I'm going to give reasons why I think that the author was convincing. I'll give reasons. I'll say, the author really spoke to the audience well. The author did a great job of bringing evidence up that was believable by the audience and that was from trusted sources. But I can't just leave it there. Now, had I not added that other part, I could have. But because I've added this other part, I'll need to bring up at least one thing that I feel like, but there was one argument that the author brought up that, seemed like it could have used some more evidence. And maybe I would say, that perhaps the author could have used some research from the Journal of American Medical Association, or I would suggest some sources, or maybe I would suggest some kind of sources, maybe an interview from a person who lived through that ordeal, or whatever it is that I feel like would have made that part of the argument more convincing. Now you can see I'm asking you to do more thinking at this part. I'm asking you to think deeper. And so I'm asking you to have a more complex thesis statement as a result. But let's suppose I believe that this argument was perfect. There's nothing wrong with it. It's great. It's wonderful. Well, I could give this as my thesis statement, but I could also add some more to it. I could say because because of the the evidence that was provided. I could also say Don Brown's essay Healthy Eating makes a convincing argument to the audience that she was writing to specifically. This is because that audience values the kind of evidence that Don Brown provided. I can give more complex thesis statements because I'm thinking about it in a deeper way, and I know that in my essay, I'll be proving these things as well. So think about the thesis statement you're going to give. You don't have to do some poetic thing, but it needs to be clear, it needs to be complete. You have to have the author's name. You have to have the article title, because those things are what you're writing about. Those are the topic. That is the topic. You must provide some kind of an opinion that you're going to back up in this essay. The more complex thinking you do with a thesis statement, generally the easier it is in your essay, because remember, you're always backing it up in your whole essay. All right, get thinking about it and get started.